What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamer Rant. My name's Kevin. In today's episode, let's talk about why the Xbox fans believe the console brand is dying. I'm just gonna go with that. All right, we're gonna be talking about a lot of things. So there's rumors of certain Xbox exclusive games going to other systems, Nintendo, PlayStation. So I think what most people fail to realize is the Xbox brand has been on a slow decline. Even Game Pass has been on a slow decline, even though it is overhyped and oversaturated with fanboyism. The reality of it is that the reason why the Xbox ecosystem has failed is because of all the mistakes Microsoft has made. Travel back in time to the Xbox era, all right, the original Xbox One, and they didn't have a lot of exclusives. Even on the 360, they didn't have a lot of exclusives. And yes, in this modern age of gaming, an exclusive isn't what it used to mean. When I think of an exclusive, I think of a game that was literally produced by, it says Microsoft Game Studios. It isn't Microsoft being like, hey, Bethesda, we want to give you money to make this game timed exclusive on our system. They've done that, not specifically with Bethesda, but other companies. Same with PlayStation. The idea of what an exclusive is, which from the perspective and business perspective of a console manufacturer makes sense for them to do to create exclusive games. The whole reason why I ended up getting a 360 in the first place was because of Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey, which then got me to try the Fable series, which was already exclusive on the Xbox ecosystem from the original #1 Xbox. Everything that Microsoft could have done to improve it, whether we're talking make more exclusives, get better exclusives. So every mistake that they could make, will make, have made, they've already made, or are making. And this is why ultimately the Xbox brand itself is ultimately failing, because of every poor decision that Microsoft has made throughout the years. And then, you dive into things like Xbox Connect, which ties into the last Fable game they made, which was tied directly to the Connect. And then you look at the previous launch of the recent Halo game, that was piss poor. Mistakes made all the way around. And why did they even bother with the Kinect? Well, because Nintendo had a gimmick, so PlayStation and Xbox wanted to jump on that because Nintendo was making money. But that works for Nintendo because I think at this point, people kind of expect a gimmick from Nintendo. In fact, I would say that whatever their next console is, and when I say next console, I'm not talking about a Nintendo Switch Pro 2 or something like that. I'm talking about the next console. The Super Nintendo 2 or the NES 2, whatever it would be, okay? Whatever they would call it, people would expect some kind of gimmick. If they were to create another handheld outside of the Switch, they would expect some kind of gimmick to come with it. Gamers don't expect that when it comes to the PlayStation or the Xbox brand. And because they see another company trying a gimmick and they fail to realize that the Nintendo audience is not their audience. Yeah, there may be a few people that are in the audience that play on their audience as well, but they're not here for the gimmicks of Nintendo. So we see a lot of failures throughout the history, bad mistakes, poor mistakes, them making mistakes with the exclusives that they do have, shoving them into the ground. The Xbox brand is in the state that it's in because of all the poor decisions that Xbox has made. Whether those decisions were made by Phil Spencer or someone else, I guess is debatable. But either way, it still rings true. They've made too many mistakes because, you look at what Phil Spencer said not too long ago, that they could never beat Nintendo or PlayStation. I don't think any Xbox fan or player ever expected them to try to surpass PlayStation or Nintendo, but maybe at least get on equal ground with PlayStation, which objectively any company could do. But the problem is the handling of Xbox, the exclusives, looking at a gimmick that another console manufacturer has done, and you trying to milk it and ultimately failing. There's also rumors that, there's supposed to be like an all-digital Xbox. Again, that's just going to be that's going to add to the stigma of another mistake, if it's true. Because out of all the console manufacturers, Xbox and PlayStation are the only ones that really are pondered on this idea of a digital-only console, whereas Nintendo doesn't even have a digital version only. And if the big dog isn't doing it, to me that seems like a failed attempt from both of these companies. It's just going to add more negativity to both brands rather than a positive thing. I would say it probably would have been better for the Xbox brand to announce, we're not doing digital only consoles because we want to make sure that gamers have the option of both a physical and a digital release. I think that would have definitely put them up higher than PlayStation within of itself. You look at Xbox, how they've continued to release older games. I could play this on the newest Xbox system. Okay? Backwards compatibility started by PlayStation. PlayStation abandoned it. Xbox adopted it. It's been a positive thing. But they've made so many mistakes over the years, minor mistakes that ultimately add up, that they are their own worst enemy. I think really that's all I have to say about this. As opposed to games coming to PlayStation, again, it would just be another mistake. As opposed to them completely getting out of the console market, it's like, well, I can understand from their perspective, from a business perspective, why they would do that if they're not making enough money. And then they might look at it as, we could make money off of Game Pass because maybe we could get some PlayStation games. Maybe we could make a deal with Nintendo. Whatever the case may be, to put games on Game Pass if they feel that that could eventually make them more money. But the one thing that Xbox has proven and shown us is they make more mistakes than things that gamers accept. And that has been their biggest downfall and their biggest problem. Whether we're talking exclusives, and yes, modern day exclusives aren't what they used to be. They're a far cry from what they are. Like Final Fantasy 16, I don't consider it exclusive to the PlayStation, even though it was only released on it. No. That's bought and paid for. Sony did not produce it themselves. It's not what we call a true, authentic exclusive. Anyway, that's all I have to say on this this topic. I'll probably talk more on it later after Phil Spencer, because apparently he or someone from Xbox is supposed to come out and talk about a lot of these rumors. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video in some fashion or form. Remember, gamers are not voicing your thoughts, concerns about the bullshit in gaming. You just might be a part of the motherfucking problem. That's loot boxes, all that negative shit. Almost said good stuff.